I assume the thing on the stat sheet that stands out is 120 points from them. What happened defensively with you guys that didn't quite work tonight?
The things that we talked about were they're probably the best in the league at this point in time. They dominated us, like 42 points first half, offensive rebounds, turnovers, and transition. And like they're elite in that, and the way that shows up, offensive rebounds and them getting to the foul line, and they just dominated that area of the game today.
What was the issue stopping them in transition, especially the first half? It seemed like they were able to really ram down for us.
Yeah, I need to watch so I give a good evaluation. But you know, look, we've been playing very well at the offensive end, shooting at a high percentage. We obviously didn't do that, and we all understand if a team has to take the ball out of the net, it's a lot easier to get back in defense. And you know, look, they're relentless with how they play once they have the ball, and they got multiple guys that can get it down the floor fast, and then their bigs just have a knacker. Right place, right time.
Christian and Pyle, obviously significant outs for you guys, especially defensively. How do you work around making up for their absence while they're still out?
Yeah, well, I'm sure any coach here will talk about injuries to his team. So we didn't use it as an excuse last week, so we won't use that as an excuse this week. You know, it gives guys opportunities. Like they're the best team in the league right now for a reason. So for us to come into this environment to understand what that level is about, we really saw that firsthand today.
A lot of eyes were on the stretch of scoring that Bryce was on.
Yeah.
Obviously he was held to 13 points today. What do you think they did to stifle him a little bit?
Oh, look, Wollongong does a good job of coming out just hungry. Probably the best example of that is Mason Peatling. Maybe an underappreciated player in the league right now for what he means to them. And he does it, like I think the first possession of the game. He just finds an offensive rebound. And just their relentlessness, whether the guys that are on the court to start the game or the guys coming off the bench, they have a true way of just pursuing the game.
Did you think, knowing their key was to take Cotton out of the game, do you think none of you boys just stepped up in that aspect today? Or do you think it was a lack of fatigue? Because you come from the West, so it's hard to travel.
So that to me? Yeah, look, I think every team in the league's going to put a lot of attention on Bryce. It's probably thoroughly deserved too. But no, look, you talk about us travelling, and no, it's certainly no excuse. I mean, we do it every week, and yeah, it's certainly no excuse. It's a professional basketball organisation. At the end of the day, it's 40 minutes, right? So I don't think that played any factor at all.
John, all-encompassing question. You're on a real roll, having won 4 of your last 5 with 110 points in those 5 games. How big a speed bump is today, or is it just a little blip?
Oh, the easy answer is a blip. You know, like we've gone on the road the last 2 games and won on the road. We looked at this as a great challenge to really see where we are in the moment. You know, and we come up very short today. I think that's just a very good reminder with this league. If you get a little ahead of yourself or you feel like things are going too good, you get smacked in the mouth like that, and we get to reset and go on the road again.
Jesse, you've been a part of some elite defensive teams in Perth. The bottom 3, bottom 4 defense according to the data. What is it about? What can you guys fix defensively going forward? Because you know that's a cycle for you need to shore up if you want to compete.
That's a very detailed question, and we could probably sit here for half an hour and talk about it. Look, I've spoken about it in the past, and I've been with the club for 16 years, and there's multiple ways to win, right? You know, and I think yeah, look, we often talk about an identity and Wildcats' identity, and it changes every year, right, based on personnel and the state of the league, and so I certainly think there's multiple aspects of it. You know, we have a great defensive system, but I think, you know, JR spoke to it just then. I think Wollongong right now, or Illawarra, what are they now? I forget. Do a great job of doing what's required, and sometimes, you know, we care as a club and we care as players, but you know, often I don't think we care enough to do what's required in the moment, and that comes up in many ways, right? It comes up in boxing out, it comes up in, you know, diving on the floor, extra possessions, watching scout. You know, you could, as I said, sit here for half an hour and go through many things. So, you know, I don't think it's one thing, right? It's a combination of multiple things over the course of 40 minutes, right? You know, to bring them down from 120 to 100, you know, it's kind of 10 possessions. If you can shore up 10 possessions in a game, then suddenly it's a ball game, and we're not taking the ball out of our net and trying to find trans that way. So, as I said, it's a detailed question, but it's probably a combination of a lot of things, right?
Tyler Harvey and Drake Hill, probably one of the toughest backcourts to contain in this league. How difficult is it for a big who has to step up a lot and they're quite shifty with the ball? How tough is it to stay in front of those guys and contain them?
Yeah, look, you look across the NBL and there's some phenomenal combos, right? And there always has been in the NBL. You know, those import guards are always shifty, always bloody good. So, and they're no exception. You know, they've both been around a while, which I think helps to kind of know what's required to win in this league. Often there's a learning period, but those two have been around a while and certainly understand the league and the style of play that's required. So, you know, you look at their stat line and their effect on the game. It was certainly pretty great.
Jesse, 491 games, you've seen lots of opposition teams. The stats say the Hawks are the highest scoring team in the last 16 seasons of 40-minute NBL. As an opposing player, what stands out to you most when they're in the mood they were in tonight? What hits you?
Look, I think JR said it before, like we got smacked in the mouth tonight, and to be honest, they thoroughly deserved the win, and we probably thoroughly deserved to get smoked by 30. As I said, they do what's required. They've got players that get after, and then they feed off that momentum, and they're well balanced. They've got great shooters. They've got guys that play their role. They've got guys that get on the glass. You know, 20 O boards to, you know, create extra possessions, kick out threes. They just play with a certain motor that, you know, hopefully it's a good lesson for us, right? Like it's, you know, JR mentioned hopefully it's a blip, and this doesn't count for 3 losses, right? This counts for 1 loss. And so at the end of the day, hopefully it's a really good lesson for us as a playing group, where hopefully we can, you know, take a leaf out of their book and play with that passion and that will that is required to win in this league, because it's tough to do night in and night out. But Illawarra right now, as JR said, are probably the team that's doing it the best.